Our command of Jesus today is honor marriage. It comes from Matthew chapter 19, verse 4 through 9. Let's read that together. It says, "Haven't you read," he replied, "that he who created them in the beginning made them male and female? And he also said, for this reason a man will leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two will become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore what God has joined together, let no one separate." "Why then," they asked him, "did Moses command us to give divorce papers and to send her away?" He told them, "Moses permitted you to divorce your wives because of hardness of your hearts. But it was not like that from the beginning. I tell you, whoever divorces his wife except for spiritual immorality and marries another commits adultery." So Jesus goes back to Genesis from the very beginning and the creation of mankind, of the world. And he begins to quote the scripture from Genesis. From the very beginning, when man and woman were created, by the way, creation is man and woman. He also reminds us of the idea of marriage, or what marriage really is. It's designed to be, creation was designed from the very beginning of a man and a woman to be married. But our creation, us, has destroyed God's design. The two become one flesh. A great illustration for that is when you glue two hearts together, they become one heart, one flesh. And so it's a great illustration. We'll come back to that in just a moment. Marriage is a beautiful thing. And Jesus explains to the Pharisees that were asking him these questions that the permission of divorce was because of the hardness of hearts. They had left the design of God behind, the way God truly had designed marriage to be. The exception here is sexual morality. To honor the Lord in marriage is a command of Jesus Christ. And God instituted marriage at the beginning of the world. And so it's a very important thing for mankind, marriage that is. A biblical marriage is one that truly honors the Lord. Divorce was never a part of God's original design. And so when sin entered the world, it changed how marriage and relationships exist in our world. Committing adultery is a sin, and it's something that all of us should avoid. As a matter of fact, the Bible tells us to flee from sexual morality because it ruins God's design. Marrying someone is this. Here's great advice for those of you that are considering marriage, or for those of you that are maybe teenagers. Marry someone that is more in love with Jesus than they are with you. Honor marriage. Let's go back to those hearts. When you glue two hearts together, if those people get a divorce and you try to rip those hearts apart, you will see that there's residue left over on both of those hearts. Divorce is a very difficult thing. It affects both families. It wasn't a part of God's original design, and I know there's exceptions as we see here in Scripture. The reality is God designed marriage to be between a man and a woman, and to be a beautiful thing, for us to be an example for those around us of what God can do through marriage. Maybe you ask yourself this: am I honoring God in my marriage? Am I honoring God as I pray for my future spouse one day? Am I honoring God with what I do with my spouse? Ask yourself that question today. God bless you.